Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Funday. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you guys had a great weekend. You know, it was weird being off last week. I'm like, wow, I never thought I'd miss so many people. I've been crazy at work, and I'm thinking, maybe I should go live during the week. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. And I was like, you know what? Just take some time off. I got to work in my garden. I'm still planting section 4. Well, I started section 4 this week. So welcome in, everybody. I'm so happy to see everyone. So my co-host for this segment, which is going to be so awesome, is Indiana Backyard Gardener. And my main guest this week is Gary Pilarczyk from the Rusted Garden. And what does the rusted garden come from? What does it mean? So we're going to find out a little bit about that. And at 8:20 we have MT Homestead with Mike and Terry, and let's talk about, well, they had the get together, right? So let's learn the good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the good things, because that's what we're about. So, but it's like nice to learn about how a YouTube get together, how it works, and all the good, joy out of it. And at 8:40, we have TT's Urban Pantry and Best Shed Journey. So we have a great live coming up. And here is Adrian from Indiana Backyard Gardener. Look at you. So happy you could co-host this week. I'm so excited.
Thanks for asking, Joe.
This is gonna be such a fun live.
It is.
So Gary, when was the first time he came on? When was his first show? We talked about it a little before, but when was the first time he came on YouTube?
I have been watching Gary since the beginning. He actually, July 6th this year will make his 12-year anniversary of his first upload. It was like a 2 or 3 minute video about squash plants. And it was just a quick video. And I know that the early days of Gary's videos, he didn't really show his face much. And I remember that. And then all of a sudden he kind of eased into it. And then you started to see him more on camera. And now he's always in front of the camera. So it's really good. It's really interesting to see how people evolve from day one to now. I mean, he's become so successful.
And Gary's in the background, and we're going to welcome in Gary Pilarczyk from the Rusted Garden. We are so happy to see you, Gary. So tell us about the Rusted Garden. Like, how did you come up with that name?
So, well, that's a secret. I can't share that. No, I'm just kidding. So, pretty much, I leave every tool out in my garden, and they rust. So, I'll be pruning, I'll be using a shovel, I'll be using a rake. They sit out, they rust. I have blades and pruners and stuff that I just leave around that have kind of rusted solid. And when I chose the name, it was really based on the rusted tool. So in hindsight, it probably wasn't the best name because everyone thinks I'm the rustic gardener. But it was fun, and I really didn't know 12 years later I would be here. I'm listening to you, Adrian, talk about the history. I would have never thought 12 years later I would be here. I just did it for fun. I'm like, I need a name. Let's go with the Rusted Garden, and it kind of it's been hanging around now for 12 years.
And where are you? Have you always lived in Maryland, or did you live in New Jersey? Where have you lived?
So if you are truly Garden State as New Jersey, I grew up in the Garden State in South Jersey till I was 18. It's where I learned how to grow a garden. My grandfather would come to my property. I can remember back to second grade, and he would just bring tomato plants, a Maxwell coffee blue can full of lime, and he would just dig in the tomato plants. He showed me how to do it, threw in some lime, which he called sweetener. And that kind of lit the passion, I mean, as a kid, I didn't want to weed. I didn't want to do all that. But watching plants grow stuck with me. And that's kind of what I've taken to what I do now, is I just want to give people the opportunity to kind of grow food. So 18 years in New Jersey, then I followed a girl to Maryland to go to college, and stayed in Maryland for the last, I don't even want to figure it out, but 35 years.
Now,
Or no,
where did you live in New Jersey?
Cherry Hill. Well, I lived in Mount Laurel, but it's always exit 4, Cherry Hill. But South Jersey, very different than North Jersey. What part are you in?
I live in Jackson, so it's like southern. It's considered Southern Jersey, but it's not really. It's like more like Central Jersey. It's, I don't know. It's, to me, it's almost Central Jersey. It's, you know what? Everybody says there's a North Jersey and there's a South Jersey. There's no Central Jersey.
Right. Well,
I have always lived pretty much in Central Jersey. And you know what? The soil is different in each spot I have lived, which is Jackson's very sandy. When I grew up in Spotswood, which was near Rutgers, and the soil was totally different. It was more compact. It was just totally different.
Yeah, well, I had sandy soil too. It was, and my grandfather's garden in Camden was probably similar stuff. Very sandy, very stony. Coming to Maryland, I have red clay. So, you know, I mean, I recently just did a video of digging a hole into red clay and kind of amending it up so you can grow a plant, but people don't have to spend a fortune to kind of fix up the whole property. But clay is good. It has a lot of micronutrients and stuff, but, you know, slowly but steadily, you know, surely you can build great soil.
Now, when you amend it, are you amending it with leaves? Are you amending it with compost? What's your amendments? What do you try to do it with?
So now, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I just came to this new property that's 2 acres. This is my 5th season here growing, 4th year living here. So with the extra room, I have tons of leaf compost. I have tons of compost. So I use compost. But I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that say, if you want to have a great garden, just use compost. Because for years I didn't have the room to make it. And you can't just tell people make compost because they might not have the space. So in that hole, you can use any bag manure, you know, from a store, some peat moss, if that's all you have, some organic granular, kind of, you know, fluff it up. Or if you have tons of compost, use that. But I have lots of leaves. Leaves, I think, are the best thing to amend the soil. And that's what I use. But I kind of mix it up.
Grass clippings. I know you use a lot of grass clippings too.
Yeah. My lawn's all untreated. So looking out the window, the white clover is coming in, which is interesting, which I do encourage people to grow as little lawn as possible. You might need it for kids and stuff like that, but at least let it kind of naturalize, because we've had a heat wave really here in Maryland now. I don't even know what day we're going on, but we're not getting rain. All the grass is dying out. The white clover, which the honeybees love, still thriving and still going strong. So, you know, a clover lawn is I think more beautiful than a grass lawn.
I have a lot of clover too.
We got a lot of weeds. You got to see the stuff we have.
And thistle. I've been getting a lot of thistle lately. Not in previous years like it has been this year, but I think people call it Canadian thistle, but I've been pulling thistle out like crazy.
Thistle's tough once you have it, because depending, I guess, on the variety, but it'll put deep lateral roots. So
I've been trying to catch it really early, and it's in like a wood chip mulch, so it comes out real quick. So I'm trying not to let it establish any real deep or lateral roots.
If it's new, that's good. Like mine established. So I'm like, I just want to be clear, like I'm 95% organic. I try and go the organic route every time. But if something becomes a problem and it risks, you know, my garden, I will go to the chemical stuff. And I just learned about what it does. But I have established thistle. So I have to actually use a weed killer, just really concentrated on each piece. Because even when I pull it out now, those lateral roots, it just comes back even more and even more. So, you know, use what's available in your garden. But if you're pulling it early, that's great. But wiregrass and thistle are the biggest complaints, you know, people have about establishing their gardens.
Yep.
You know, this will be last year. I tore my Achilles tendon, so my weeds in my garden went totally nuts because I didn't go out there for 5-6 months. I started half my plants. I was going to grow 300 varieties of tomato plants. I had everything outside ready to be planted, and then I tore my Achilles tendon. So I went out there and I was like, wow, this is such a mess. This is terrible. Gary it was like, it's still like that right now. Anyway, I have 4 sections, right? And what I'm doing, I wanted to get more life into the soil because I rototilled everything during all the years. And what I was like, I need life in the garden. I have no worms. If you have no worms, you have no life. That's the way I look at it. And so I have tarps. And with my tarps, where the weeds were, I just that's all bare. Everything's dead under it pretty much, except for some ants crawling around all over the place. So I just put my tarp over where all the weeds were growing and everything, whatever was growing. And that will all die under that tarp.
Right.
But the life under the soil where I lifted the tarp is amazing. I got worms. I got spiders. I got this and that. I have some stuff crawling I've never seen before, but I got life. And now what I'm also doing is I'm adding tons of leaves in my planting holes, and I'm adding worms in my planting holes. And so now I got more worms. I got life. I got everything starting to gel. And so that's my new concept that I'm trying to work out.
The more organic material you can introduce into your garden, the better, because the more feed on it. So you can chop and drop all your weeds, and you know what I mean. That'll just it'll encourage more.
Now, do you use any cover crops?
I don't. Yeah. So, I mean, I just want to add, I mean, the one thing that you're doing that makes the difference, and I don't know if listeners, caught it or viewers caught it, is because you have a tarp down, you're keeping that moisture in that top 6 inches of the soil. And that continued moisture just creates a field day for all the microbes, the worms, all the life. So if you're able to, transition beds over or put down cardboard and mulch in places that are going to be future beds, or however you do it, keeping that moisture in, it's just crazy. Especially if you like you were saying, Adrian, if you put organic matter under that and you keep it moist with the tarp or with, shredded hardwood or something like that, it breaks down so quickly because of the worms and the life. It makes a huge difference, and people can really accelerate the creation of better soil, for their garden. And as I rambled on, I forgot what your question was. If you want to throw it at me again.
Cover crops.
Cover crops.
I don't use them because I'm growing now really into almost early December. So my beds are pretty active. So I don't have enough time before the big freeze comes in for the cover crops. But because I'm pulling in organic matter via compost, leaves, the grass clippings that I always use, the cover crops would be a nice addition, but they're not necessarily needed because the beds are getting, what they need.
You don't even have time for cover crops. You're growing practically all year round. Right.
And, what I do like, I mean, if I were going to choose a cover crop, because I plant a lot, I do the cool season crops, early spring into early summer, and then I plant again late summer through fall and early winter. But peas are a great cover crop so that you can grow them and just cut them down, leave the roots in the ground, let them break down. That works really well too. So instead of the chop and drop, you can leave them there, but they just go to my compost anyway, and then I bring the compost out later. But peas do a really great job of breaking up clay soil. And in fact, now I leave a lot of my beds. I don't turn them every year. Like I'm not afraid of it. I just want new gardeners not to fear that if they turn their soil, they wreck the soil life. Soil life figures it out. But you don't necessarily have to do that once your beds are established. So I leave in tomato roots, pepper roots, pea roots, and just leave them in the ground. And when I go to plant, I just dig the hole where the transplant's going to go. If I'm doing seeds, I will loosen that top 4 inches, by hand or with a little shovel or something like that. but keep it simple. Don't overwork it. Don't feel you need special ingredients and special care. I mean, plants want to grow.
I do the same thing. It's funny that you mentioned that. I leave all the roots to all of the plants that have been spent, and I will just clip them off like at the base, and I'll just leave the roots in the ground. That way the worms and things have something to feed on over the winter. So then what I'll do is I'll just cover my beds with a thick layer of leaves or grass or whatever I have at the end of the fall season. If I'm not going to use the bed, and I will leave all those roots in the ground and just cover it. And then that way there's still going to be some life and some food for that life in the soil.
It makes a big difference. And are you using like just the fresh leaves and stuff? Like, because you don't need compost or anything special. You can just throw down your grass clippings and your leaves at the end of the season and let them be.
Absolutely. And coffee grounds. I drink a lot of coffee, so I use a lot of coffee grounds.
Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks will give you 5-pound bags of coffee grounds if you start a relationship with them.
Yep.
My leg almost started cramping up.
Oh, you need some mustard.
I was outside the last 2 days. I haven't had much water. All of a sudden, I put my leg one way and it started cramping up. I'm like, oh no, I'm getting too old. Now, Gary, when you were talking about before gardening in New Jersey and when you started off, how old were you? Like, what kind of property did you have? Did your parents garden all the time? And, like, how did everything start?
It was second grade. I don't know. How old are you in second grade? Whatever that is. Mm-hmm. And we had a backyard similar to my first house, which you saw probably 8 years if you were watching the rusted garden, like 0.2 acres. I mean, it was fenced in, and it was probably 16 foot by 4 foot bed flat against the fence where the full sun came in. So it was tomatoes. My grandfather would come in. He'd just drop cucumbers every foot down, seeds actually, along the back of the fence. He'd drop in tomato plants, and that's all really. Like, we tried adding in radishes and other stuff, but it was tomatoes and cucumbers that kind of really got me started. And it was early on. Like, if that experience didn't happen, and that's what I like to try and bring to my channel, I would never have known that I love vegetable gardening. Like, I wouldn't be here today. Maybe I would have discovered it at a later point. But I love, without getting on my soapbox, I mean, it's pretty much a miracle that in a handful of seeds, I can grow literally 5,000 pounds of food. Mm-hmm. And I can sculpt my garden, and I can create, and I can make all these amazing things just with planting a seed, and I love it. So that's what I want to get to people, is at least give them the confidence to try, give them a chance to grow. Don't feel like you have to watch a dozen YouTube channels. You have to read 6 articles on something. Get what you need, grow, see how it goes.
Yeah.
Now, did you also what seed company did you first start your own seeds from? Did you, like, for me, it was the quarter seeds or 10-cent seeds from American Seed Company. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, that's what I started using because I was a kid. It was my own money. Hey, I'm going to go to the store and get some seeds. This is cool, And then I started seeing books, So you seeing the Berkeley catalog,
right?
What did you start that way a little bit too, getting interested in your own way?
So back then, I think it was still Berkeley seeds. It wasn't until I was in my 20s that, I think it was Totally Tomato and different catalogs were coming out. And I used to grow. I mean, you said, did I mishear you were going to grow 300 varieties of tomatoes?
Yeah, last year was 300 varieties of tomatoes.
Yeah, all right.
That was kind of nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you trumped me, but that's exactly, I got addicted to catalogs and different things and just ordering. And I'm trying to slim it back down.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, like probably 2 weeks ago, I had, 2 flats of peppers, and I'm like, and it's in video, like I'm going to throw them away. I got to get rid of them. Well, they're in my garden.
Of
So
course.
I ended up planting them. I have downsized, but it is so hard to
It's
get
very,
rid of a plant. You know, I mean, it's we all know what that feels like. You know,
yes.
throwing something away. But you know, burpee seeds, and then seed catalogs, and now you know, I have a seed shop, so I order stuff in bulk, and I grow a lot of kind of what I collect. And I'm actually affiliated with Bentley Seeds. They're a wonderful company. I've known them for a couple of years. So what I did learn for people that are buying stuff, and I don't want to, you know, kind of throw people off the idea of organic. Organic is wonderful. It's a little commercialized, um, but there's no support your favorite seed company, whoever they might be, and buy that way. Don't look like you're never going to find a GMO seed in the seed packet. Like somebody was a genius and said, I'm going to put on my seed pack non-GMO. Well, not GMO seeds are big business. You have to spend like $10,000 and sign contracts not to, you know, give the product away. So you'll never find a GMO seed in the seed pack. So don't pay more because it says non-GMO. Or if it doesn't say that, don't think you're getting something bad. Organic seeds are wonderful, but the seeds before the organic stamp came were organic anyway. I mean, people were just growing them wild and not adding anything to it. So we kind of get fooled sometimes with labels. But the best thing to do, support your small seed growers, support the companies that you like, and don't over worry about what a seed is called, because like a basil seed is like the tip of a pencil. Even if it was non-organic, and even if it was fed a chemical fertilizer, and even if it was, there's nothing on that tiny seed that's going to wreck your plant or your garden. So I just don't want people to spend more money unless they've researched it, they feel that's what they want to do. But you know, I always have a a soft side for new gardeners not to get fooled into overspending.
Do you save any seed?
I do.
Are you into saving your seed too?
Yeah. I mean, I did it more before the seed shop. Now that I have the seed shop, I have availability, but I save specific things that I like. Sometimes I even sell them. But facing heaven peppers, I have radishes now that are in bloom, arugula that I'm letting pot out, and I have kale that I'll do that. Sometimes I'll do the cucumbers. But if you buy a pack of seeds and you take care of them, they're going to last 3 to 5 years. So
Absolutely.
eventually, I mean, you can't see it, but right over here, I've been, and behind me, if I move out of the way, you'll see just piles of seeds packets. I am finally getting rid of the stuff that's 3 and 5 years old and just sorting it. And I'm scattering it along my wood line just to see what might grow wild. But I'm probably in this group of 3, not the only one that has a seed buying addiction. So I have, let's just say.
Yeah.
Once a seed addict, always a seed addict.
It's a good addiction.
Now, Gary, I got this book a couple weeks ago, The Modern Homestead Garden. I think this is an awesome, awesome book. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on Gary's site, and I'm going to show you guys that in a little bit. But this is an outstanding book. This is really even the pictures are awesome. I don't know. I know this is terrible. I'm not showing you the right way, but there is so much information in this book. And, here, sunken containers, even something like that.
Yep. Still growing in my garden.
And it's an easy read for the beginner. As a medium or a long-time gardener, you could always find stuff in here and say, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. Hey, I never thought of that before. So if you guys want to check out this book, we're going to give it one way later on. We're going to give this book away later on during the live, which is one lucky, happy customer. And also in your background, you have an edible landscape. Is that
yes? So right. So the Modern Homestead Garden was really to help people get all the basics and a little bit more to kind of get started and kind of look at their property as a homestead. Like I love watching what is it, Alaska, The Last Frontier, or a lot of those off-grid shows. But we don't need to go off-grid to have a homestead. We just have to kind of think about using our space differently. So that's what the first book was really all about. It's just getting people out and growing and teaching them how to grow. Growing an edible landscape is taking growing food a little bit outside of a standard vegetable garden, growing in your non-traditional beds where you might just have sterile plants, and opening up space in your lawns. So it teaches a couple different techniques to really build your property into something edible. And it goes over food crops that we wouldn't maybe normally consider, for food. And it mixed in there too is everything you need if you're a first-time gardener to get started with, like, the 10 most commonly grown vegetables and stuff like that. But that's book 2. That doesn't come out until November. So you can pre-order it. You can find both books on Amazon. I would love if you bought my book from my website. However, I have to charge $24. Amazon is selling it for $13.99. So you can save yourself some money by getting it Amazon. And it still helps me out. So, I'm happy. A lot of people like the first book. It's doing really well. Book 2 is coming out. If I do book 3, it will be the second part of vegetable gardening with kind of all the different things that I've learned, different sprays, different techniques, and keeping things really simple. But anyway, if you've not written a book, just by the way, it's the worst process ever until it's done. And then you're like, this is the best thing ever. Because you swear you're never going to write another book, you're not going to do it, and then you get to see it in your hand.
Yeah, you get off to a really good start, right? Situations. Now you have almost close to 700K for subscribers. My main question is, what is your highest rated or highest member count for a video? What was your biggest hit as a video?
Right. So go ahead.
It was over 4 million views on one of the videos. I think it was it might have been peppers and tomatoes, how to grow peppers and tomatoes, like complete guide to peppers and tomatoes. Right. I think that was the biggest one.
So I think you're right. I don't know. How to a complete guide to growing tomatoes, or a complete guide to growing peppers, or a complete maybe guide to growing both, I have. And that was me years ago taking all the videos I did over a year and putting them into one place with a timestamp on there so people can kind of jump through. So that's done really well. I have like a lame video on throwing an egg and a banana into a planting hole. That one has a couple million. And I don't know why it took off. Some stuff you don't understand. I mean, I have a lot with a lot of views, but the ones I'm proud of are the guides. They are, pretty good. Certain subjects are more well received. This year, I'm trying to do something different. Like, I like talking about vegetable gardening. Like, I could stay on with you guys. I'm looking at 7:30 till like midnight or something like that. But I'm trying to change up the videos this year because I don't want to go over planting a tomato or, bug spray number 3,000. So I'm still covering that, but I'm trying to kind of do it in a different way and kind of keep it interesting. You just don't know what video is going to take off. You can't figure out the algorithm. You don't know why it's going to happen. I can give you almost a year by year sort of assessment on how my channel started to grow, but it's mostly just having a passion. Like, if people want to start a channel, have a passion, make your videos, have fun, let the rest of the stuff come. Because if you're trying to go for the views, it's probably not going to happen. But if you have fun and just keep going, it happens.
You have to have a purpose.
Definitely got to have a purpose.
You have to have a purpose.
And a planned purpose.
Yeah.
I see too many people doing videos and there's nothing. They have nothing planned. They start off, they're good for 2 minutes, and it's like, okay, what's next?
Well, I have, like, I just added perk memberships to my YouTube channel, where people are paying $6 to $9 or something a month. But it's really set up to be a garden mentor. So I'm on at least 5 times a month answering questions and stuff like that. But I did a video for them on the YouTube channel, like how do you start a YouTube channel? And you kind of nailed it. It's like you have to have a purpose behind your video, because nobody wants to really hear you ramble on for 15 minutes
About nothing.
show something they don't know what you're going to show. So I'm always teaching people in the first 20 seconds, what are you going to do? Execute what you're going to do. And then if you like, and I have a rambling series, like every week or two, I'll do a 30-minute rambling called Garden Ramblings. That is geared to me just walking around and talking. But people know. So you want people to know. Yeah.
But there's information in there. There's useful information in the rambling session. So it's worth it. It still has a purpose.
Yeah, right. I appreciate that. Right. And it's designed in my head. I don't know what's going to come out. But a lot of people try and get started, and you know, like it's funny you were saying the reason I started point of view and not my face. One, kind of learning it and getting used to it, but then I got used to showing my face, and I'm like, well, you know, what the heck? But it's a lot of work. Like if you're showing your face, you got to shave. If you wear makeup, you got to wear makeup. You
Right.
know? So point of view, I can roll out at 7 a.m. Nobody knows what I look like, and I can look through the videos, and then you know, down the line, I'll do one. Maybe I'll be showing my face or something like that. Which now is mostly just the lives like this.
Now, Gary,
So
you
how
had
is your community garden going? I know you had started you had like a fundraiser going on, and you guys got this big community garden started up. How is that going?
So like years ago, I was in an actual community garden. I'm not there anymore. I retired from being a mental health therapist, full-time career from Johns Hopkins, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I don't remember. And
Okay.
I needed to be around people, I figured, so I didn't drive my wife crazy. So I started volunteering at Freetown Farm, which is part of the Community Ecology Institute. And that might be what kind of you're seeing now, that's 6.5 acres. So I'm a board member there, but I volunteer like 10 hours a week. And that's going really well. I mean, that was 6 acres with weeds to my shoulders, luckily before I got there. So they got rid of the weeds. But then we started constructing all the beds and all the different places to grow. And that's really taking off. So we're doing, you know, every once in a while I'll do fundraisers for them. I have something going on Instagram now, actually, which is also under the Rusted Garden for people to donate. But when I can, we'll raise some money for them. But I'm really growing in your greenhouse. So we do plant sales that every Saturday. So it's fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know.
That's awesome. And I bet it was a lot of fun in the beginning because it was a blank slate. So it's like starting all over again and like just starting from scratch. And that the feeling of just starting from scratch, I can't even imagine. Like my garden is pretty much established the way it is, but to start from like a blank slate, that's exciting.
So my kids are in their 20s and they're in different states, and you know they're growing up. Instead of downsizing where we raised them, I came to this property, which is an 1867 farmhouse, 2 acres, rectangle. There was nothing in the middle, and I got to have literally a blank rectangle. So everything that's built now and people see now was taking, you know, really 25 years of experience, but you know, 8 years of stuff that I was doing on YouTube, and I could just take the best and you know, sort of apply it. So even when I look back at old videos, I'm like, well, why was I doing that? You know, so. But the blank slate is wonderful, and I got to do that at Freetown Farm. Like I built a youth garden, a grow it, eat it garden, and it's just a lot of fun.
Good.
You know, Gary, you have this voice. Adrian and I were talking about this before, but it resembles somebody at the TV show somewheres. Like you have a celebrity's voice. Did anybody ever tell you that?
Yes, and I've had I forgot the person's name, but there's 3 of them. I mean, it's you know, long ago, Vincent Price, Lenny from Lenny and Squiggy, from you know back then, and then there's a third one, but people do recognize it as somebody, but they can't, quite put a finger on it.
I know. I cannot put my finger on it.
It's like it's always been there. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, it's the same exact voice. I'm watching this show and I'm like, it's right on. But I don't watch TV anymore, so now I'm like, I'm
I don't
lost. I'm like, what is that voice? Who is that voice from?
Yeah, I mean, people have said, I just can't recall, off the top of my head. So, I mean, and part of it, like, I mean, I don't know if you guys had to get used to your voice. Like, you have to get used to your voice too. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I just before I came on, I paused to, take a shower and stuff like that. But I've been out in the garden for 10 hours. So
Wow.
sometimes now, literally, I mean, I got up at 6 a.m. So, I'll get on the live and I'll forget that, I haven't, showered or anything like that. But you have to get used to your face. You have to get used to your voice. You have to get used to, your presentation, and then just take it with a grain of salt, because the best thing is just talking with people,
Yeah.
Well, you're a very good communicator, and that's the reason why you have that many viewers. Your plan, it's well informed. There's little things that nobody ever heard of. Hey, let me try that. And talking about let me try that. Let's talk about squash,
Right.
zucchini. We get powdery mildew. Of course, everybody gets powdery mildew after a time. What is over from when you started to where you are now, and helping those remedies for powdery mildew?
Right.
What is the best scenario? Like, how do you treat it? Do you treat it okay, like a timetable? This is the way I look at it. There's a timetable. All right. Prepare before it starts.
Right.
So if it's you prepare before it starts, like, okay, this period of time, maybe I should start spraying, and just a little preemptive, even though if there's nothing happening. But hey, zucchinis are starting to pop out. Everything is grown well. Hey, maybe, light dusting of what you want to use. Tell us about your journey with that.
So, I mean, you summed it up nicely. And the key points are: new gardener. Well, first of all, don't believe that your garden should be clean of insects and disease. They're going to show up. Okay. So if you get them, you didn't fail. If you get them, it's not because you didn't use enough compost. I get a little bit defensive when people say, if you just were organic, you wouldn't have any of these problems. Or if you release ladybugs. I just had to spray a plum tree that is covered in aphids with something pretty harsh, and I have ladybugs everywhere. They didn't do the trick. Anyway, you're going to get disease, you're going to get pests. So learning them. So when you first start gardening, or if you've been gardening for a while, write down the date that they show up, try and figure out what they are, and then you pick your spray, or you pick your dust, or you pick your whatever. And exactly what you were saying, Joe, is start about 2 weeks early. That helps. And there's no cure-all that does it. It's the gardener being consistent with preemptive spraying, continued spraying, and kind of, taking care of it. What I do say now about cucumber, squash, is most people plant them in May. I'm in Maryland, so they plant them in May or something similar. They produce, diseases come in, people get frustrated and they stop. Just hit the microphone. Keep planting, because you can plant squash, zucchini in May. You can plant it again late June. You can plant it again late July. You can plant it in August. And you plant through the disease and pest cycles of most of the problems in your area. And they only take, really, with the warmth, from seeding, really 30 to 50 days to start producing. So the other strategy is yank out those plants that don't work after you've been spraying. Don't try and save a bad plant, and just replant. Keep those plants going through. And you'll be surprised at how beautiful cucumber looks in September versus when it's getting beat up by pests and disease.
Yeah. I agree with you, Gary. It's really important to keep a garden journal when you know that you're going to be gardening, and you know that that's something you want to keep doing. You want to keep a journal, because then you can, like you said, write down when you start to see the pests, write down when you start to see the diseases, write down, okay, we had a week of rain, so now as a result of that, this is what happened. so that way you can keep an eye on when to expect those types of things, and then you can be more prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I can't remember what I, had for dinner 3 weeks, or well, 3 weeks ago for sure, but 3 days ago. So you got to write it down, because you're just not gonna remember.
Right.
Now, when you have a tropical storm or a hurricane, do you see new diseases come to the garden because of that?
Well, we're lucky, although we have tornadoes touch down, believe it or not. We don't get hurricanes anymore, but we do get heavy rain, except right now we're in a weird drought, and we had 90 and 80-degree temperature, and I wasn't really paying attention, and my garden was super thirsty, and I've been trying to catch up and fix the plants. I find that the diseases are pretty much set for your area. Like, you get what you get because they've been around for, whatever, a million years or however long Maryland's been around. But we have high humidity. So when that humidity comes and sticks around, that's when all the powdery mildew starts rolling in. That's when a lot of the insects start coming in. And it's pretty predictable, over time. Tell you.
So I learned something from you a long time ago, Gary, and it was the difference between powdery mildew and downy mildew. And I didn't know there was a difference at the time until I had seen one of your videos. And then I said, oh, that's what's going on, because I was treating it as if it was powdery mildew, but it wasn't effective as I needed it to be. And then when I switched my remedy, I then learned that, okay, I'm not dealing with powdery mildew, I'm dealing with downy mildew. So I just wanted to point that out, like that you are the only one I've ever learned that from, or I've ever seen that has pointed out that there's a difference between powdery mildew and downy mildew.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference, and a lot of people get a problem, they say something on Facebook, and they get like 50 answers of what it is.
Right.
So trying to, like, and I just did a quick reel on Instagram on identifying aphids, and somebody commented and like, thank goodness you did this, because I've been telling people they don't have white flies, they have aphids. The next day somebody comments, I really think you have white flies there, they're not aphids. And they're 100%, they were aphids. But people do get confused
Yeah.
of what they are, and if you don't identify the problem, the treatment could be ineffective. So you really have to learn what it is, be it fungus, be it pests, whatever it is, and life cycle. Like, I'm dealing with the Colorado potato beetle, and my potatoes are doing really well. And I dusted 2 weeks ago. The adult beetle comes out from overwintering, it mates, it lays eggs. So I took care of that pretty well. But ones that got through, all the eggs are hatching, and now all the larvae are just chewing down certain parts of my potatoes. So I've dusted again. So you have to learn the life cycle of your problem too, and that makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like neem oil so much, because it can take care of all of the life cycles.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
one thing about neem oil. So if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, pretty much you'll see bottles that say neem oil. And in the bottom left corner, it says hydrophobic extract of neem. And what that means is they've purified, they've taken out every good component, and they just call it neem oil. It doesn't do anything. It might as well be olive oil. When you buy neem oil, you want to buy 100% cold pressed neem oil, because it has a compound called azadirachtin in it. And it's that compound that when an insect chews the leaf and ingests it, that it kills out the life cycle. So a lot of times you're buying neem oil, you think it's got that special property, and it's no better than any oil or something like that. So if it says hydrophobic extract of neem, you don't want that. You want to find cold pressed neem oil.
Absolutely.
Have you used Surround?
I don't
It's
know.
like it's clay. It's It's a clay-like substance that goes on your leaves. You spray it on, and it keeps away some rodents. It keeps away disease.
Sure.
Helps great in the beginning. If it gets too hot, that clay-like surface on your leaves, it's awesome. Now, I had tons of rodent damage in the past. Anything I sprayed on it, nothing. Any kind of beetles or anything going on my leaves. So what happens is they taste the leaf, they taste clay. It's like, hey, this tastes like dirt. I don't want this leaf. And they say, hey, this is not good. I don't want that. And that has been a great thing for me to use. Surround, I think WP it's called.
Is that the name brand?
Is it similar to what it's called, kaolin clay or whatever it's called?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like I never know how to pronounce things. Don't let that stop you either, because I can never figure out how to pronounce Latin. So I didn't know if it was kaolin or colon or whatever. I know it's not colon, but I think it's COALIN. That clay works really well. I know. Why did I forget a name? James, his YouTube channel yeah, he uses that on his apples and on his trees basically, and it works really well. So that is effective, and I have to figure that out. I mean, it's great for his trees because they're dwarf, and I think he's kind of tall. I've never met him, but he's tall enough to be able to dust the trees. However, I look out. I bought semi-dwarf trees that are like 18 feet now, so I don't know how to get all that stuff up there. So, use what you can.
See, what I noticed about it, you need it thick enough to get a layer on it. Right. So if you use those sprays, how does it shoot? It's too thick, it shoot. Yeah. So you really got to get a nozzle or something that could shoot a thicker kind of spray.
Or maybe you have to just do coats, like do a coat and let that dry and then do another coat. Instead of making it thick to begin with, you can just use it as you mixed it, but just do coats, kind of like, I don't know, kind of like nail polish. You make it thicker with every coat.
Are you spraying it or are you dusting it?
I use just regular hand sprayer. Just regular. Oh my God! I just went and have a brain fart.
So you're mixing it with water then? Just
mix it with water. Yeah, the only thing you do is mix it with water. I actually have it behind me, but it's a huge bag.
Right.
It's right there.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
And you just mix it with water. That's it. Nice. It's so simple.
So I mean, it's good too for people to just try out different things, because every garden is going to be a little bit different. I do encourage people to, even if they trust us, and as we're talking, is to test spray, even if it's just clay. Spray a couple of leaves, wait 24, 48 hours. If it's soap and water, wait 24, 48 hours. Make sure the sprays and stuff you put on the plants don't damage the plants, no matter where you're getting the information from. Take notes again, and then use it fully. But sometimes you have to kind of try different things to figure out. Like I've got a whole organic list, and if an infestation comes, I will go to some chemical type that I've researched and I'm comfortable with using and stuff like that. But you need an arsenal, and you need to understand your tools, and you can't just operate off of this is deemed organic and this is chemical made by people. It doesn't work that way. A lot of people don't understand that organic spinosad, usually under Captain Jack's dead bug dust, will kill every insect, bees, and good stuff. So people think organic means it doesn't harm us. And it can, like the Bordeaux sprays that are copper and lime that are sprayed on grape plants. You don't want to be spraying that in your face. Yes, it's organic, but spinosad will kill out bees. It will kill out beneficial insects. Then you have 7-Dust, which is, a chemical that will also kill out things. So you have to be aware that organic doesn't mean safe to nature. It just means it's safer to us.
Now, using Epsom salt in the garden. All right, for the beginner gardener, because people say, hey, you know what, Epsom salt, how much Epsom salt should I put down? When should I use it? How much should I use it? What would I use it for? For the beginner gardener, what would you say about that?
So, I mean, I just did a video. Did you see that? Or you just? throwing it out there.
I did see it.
Okay. So like 5 years ago, every YouTuber was like, Epsom salt is a miracle cure-all. And everybody is copying each other and saying, use it, use it, use it, use it. And then like last year, something like that, people were against it. So everybody hates Epsom salt. So it is a fertilizer and it is good to use on your plants, but it only provides magnesium and sulfur. It's magnesium sulfate. So you have six macronutrients. You have nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are the main three, the primary ones that are in granular fertilizer, water-soluble fertilizer. So every plant needs a ton of nitrogen first, and then potassium and phosphorus. And then you need calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. Epsom salt will provide magnesium and sulfur. So what I say nowadays is use 1 tablespoon of basic Epsom salt in a gallon of water, quickly pour it into the base of your plant at planting, maybe at mid-season, and let it be. And it will provide what you need. If you pour, and that's the thing that I'm actually trying to do more on my channel, is and I thought it would be boring years ago, but I'm actually doing videos of showing how long I'm watering something or how much of the fertilizer or treatment or Epsom salt I'm putting on the plant, because I don't think people got to see that. So they would, whip up a batch of Epsom salt and they would put 1 gallon on their tomato plant, and that you just don't need that. And it's not wrong, but it's just not needed. And then also in saying that, in container plants where a mature plant is sucking the life out of the soil, you're going to need more magnesium and sulfur, and you're going to need more fertilizer. So you have to know what you're using it for. So Epsom salt is fine. Just don't overdo it. And, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt your garden. And it definitely greens up the plants. Like, people kind of flipped on it. And when I would use it in my containers for beat up cucumber plants, they would green up, they would look great. So it definitely works. I think we have a tendency to think, well, if it works on the cucumbers, it's going to work on the tomatoes and the peppers and the arugula and the peas, and I got to give it to my okra, and I'm going to give it to the peppers, and I want to give it to my. We just.
And you get some Epsom salt, and you get some Epsom salt, and you get some Epsom salt.
Yeah. And don't mix it into water. Mix it into the gallon. Like I've seen videos where people are taking handfuls and throwing the salt at the base of a plant. You just don't need that.
One thing I see a lot is people using way too much fertilizer, especially, they see some people are using 20, using it several times during a year, and you're burning your roots,
Or they're using the wrong fertilizer.
Yes. Well, each plant's a little different too, right? What do you use, Gary, on, you say, tomatoes? What do you like? What kind of blend?
Yeah, so I've made my own blends, with blood meal and bone meal and stuff on sale just for fun. But what I say now is to use any organic granular fertilizer that's on sale. If you walk into Home Depot or you walk into Lowe's, you'll see tomato, pepper, fruiting, blooming, leafy green, tree fertilizer. It's too much.
Right.
So anything, yeah. Yeah, let me pause a second because you guys are lagging. I don't want to talk over you. Just see if you catch up. Yeah, so it's really confusing. So I'll use any basic organic granular fertilizer. I target the planting hole now with 1 or 2 tablespoons and some, compost and stuff like that. But what we're not taught is, like, you get this bag of stuff and it says, X amount per 100 square feet, and it's really confusing, So
yeah.
Less is probably better. Like if your plants are looking green, let them be. If they're looking good, let them be. If they turn a little bit yellow, little fish emulsion. Slow and steady is the best way to go with feeding your plants.
Yeah.
Right now, Gary, I'm going to show everybody your YouTube page and your. Let me see. This is your YouTube page. Let me go up from the front here. So Gary Pilarczyk, The Rustic Garden. There's the subscribers. try to become a member too. So he has his live shows. How often do you do your live shows?
So for the public, every second Thursday and fourth Thursday, 11 o'clock on Thursday, I'll do a Q&A. I'll present a subject, and then I will answer questions, whatever I can, within like 30 minutes or so. Under the perk membership, I do 5 mentoring Q&As, 2 teaching classes, and I take, the perk members' videos and questions, and I put them together in a video, and I do a video series and show them on YouTube. But right now for the public, it's 2. Sometimes I'll do a pop-up, live video, depending on, how much time I have and stuff like that. But it's something I enjoy. Like, I plan on doing more. You can see that, I probably need a better, snapshot for each of those, but I just kind of do it. And, wherever my face is frozen, that's what you get. So, it's fun.
You help out so many people because there's not many places to go to when you see a problem in a garden, how to dissect it, and what do you need to do. And your channel is one of the few that you just go on, and now you're going live, and you could ask questions. You have always been
A
easy to
resource.
get involved with, and communicate too. But this is pretty awesome info. Become a member, exclusive videos. I think that's pretty awesome.
And I do enjoy it. And like each, perk Q&A, the mentoring part, I'm on for at least an hour. I'll stay on longer. And it's a good group of people. So not only is it me answering questions, you get to meet people from really the US, but actually across the globe. That's the beauty about gardeners. I don't know if you guys hopefully agree with me. Doesn't matter what nation you are, what religion you are, what other part of the world you're on. Like, gardeners are pretty much like, look how great my tomatoes growing, and what is this problem? Like, we're the same, like across the globe, which I love.
Yeah, it's like a universal language.
I mean, it really is, and it makes you think that we have much more in common with people across the world than you might think if you're listening to our politicians and stuff. But we'll save that for a different day.
This is your Facebook page?
Yep.
Have you ever been invited to speak at like a university or anywhere, like a speaking, like a seminar type of thing, like meetups or anything like that?
I am getting more now. I haven't done anything large, but it was more because I worked 40 hours a week, so I never had the time. So, and then COVID came, of course. So over the next year, it might be something that I'm doing more now that people are out and about, and I'm kind of doing this full time. So, and I enjoy it. I don't necessarily want something really big because I just like the smaller group. Like I've done at Freetown Farm, part of Community Ecology Institute. We did a fundraiser with tickets and stuff, and we had 2 groups. And I did it with Kim from Cali. Kim, she and I did a ticketed event twice, and the money went to Freetown Farm. And that was a good group of like maybe 30 to 40 people in each of them, and that was a lot of fun. We just sat up in a circle. We had a theme and talking about that.
Gary, talk about the bed giveaway.
Well, we already picked the winner.
Okay.
So, but we have, that's, let's see if it's on there. So I have my Instagram, which is the Rusted Garden. And then we have the Rusted Garden Seed Shop, a separate Instagram. And we are going to be doing a giveaway soon for a, why did I forget? Greenstock tower, vertical tower, a 5-tier tower. So if people kind of find where the Vajayga bed giveaway was, we're going to be doing a tower giveaway. And that's where my brother helps me manage that. That's just updates on the seed shop, things we're selling, giveaways and stuff like that, just so that I don't overload the Rusted Garden IG page. But the next giveaway, which will be soon, will probably we'll set it up in the next week, is for a vertical tower, which I love that company.
That is really awesome.
Yeah, for 7 years. Been with them for about 7 years.
Nice. What do you not grow in your garden, Gary? Is there anything that you don't grow or that you won't grow?
Um, I don't think so. Like right now, I have one bed. I probably have 3 beds that aren't growing anything, and I've never done that before. Like I've filled them with extra plants and tomatoes and stuff like that. Now I'm just kind of trying to slow it down a little bit. I'm trying to eat everything that comes out of there and give it away. And believe it or not, giving away food is much harder than you might think. Um, I've been inviting people. Yes, everybody wants lettuce. I'm like, come get it. And they're like, oh, I forgot to come. Can I come next week? Well, no, it's bolted.
Right.
You got to
It's
come when
too late.
you got to come when it's ready. So, um, I don't think there's anything that I wouldn't grow. I mean, that's a good question because I go back and forth. I like watching stuff grow. I think that's what I like the most. From seed
Right.
to plant, and then harvesting and eating comes second. So I just love watching stuff grow.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite variety of tomato? What's your favorite tomato variety?
Yeah, I like the Homestead, which is a semi-determinate that grows like an indeterminate tomato for whatever reason. That's how it's
Mm-hmm.
cataloged. I like the black cherry tomato.
Yeah,
I like the hybrid Juliet grape.
Oh yeah.
It's a good one, and those are kind of the 3 that I keep. Um, but I mean, I do Arkansas Traveler. I like Old German. I like Belgian Pink. I mean, there's standards that I keep in there. I want to love the black trim, but as soon as it gets hot, it falls apart, so I
Yeah,
can't grow it.
I know.
It doesn't like the heat. It likes the cool weather. Um, I have standards that I kind of keep in the garden. I mean, I really cut back. I mean, I can't even remember, but I wasn't doing 300, but 60, 70 different varieties, and it just became a lot. So I'm trying to simplify it a little bit to 40.
Yeah, just keep the favorites.
Yeah.
we have a couple questions in the chat. So could you read that, Gary? I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah, that's perfect. Can I put leaves and grass clippings in compost together, or do I need to compost leaf mold separate? You can certainly put them both together. If you put in green grass with brown leaves, it's actually going to heat up, and it's a little bit of a different process. And if you put in a lot of grass, it really heats up to like 140 degrees. And worms won't necessarily move in there because it's too hot, but you'll get compost a little bit quicker. And then when it cools down, you'll have the worms move in. If you're using just plain old leaves, that's a slower process, but you get lots of worm castings. I almost said worm compost. You get a lot of worm castings in there, which is beautiful. And leaves will break down maybe in a year if you're lucky, but definitely by 2 years. And it just makes great stuff for the garden. And you don't want to just compost a pile of grass because it'll smell bad and it'll go bad. So you want to mix grass with browns or carbons, or you want to just do leaves by themselves. But there's no harm in mixing them together. Do I do companion planting? I do. I want companion planting to work better. Like I feel like if there was the perfect companion, we would all know what it is. So I think what it does is it decreases pest pressure, but it doesn't necessarily cure it. So this year I've actually have tons of onions and garlic everywhere, and I'm putting in more marigolds just to see if that helps with reducing pest pressure. As for vegetables together, I haven't found any that don't complement each other really. I'm planting a little bit more closely with different things, but I don't know. I feel more kind of a sculptor in the garden and kind of putting things together than a specific companion for direct benefit.
So with marigolds, have you really seen a difference?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like this. I've got maybe 2 tomato hornworms in, 10 years. And I do sometimes grow tomatoes without marigolds. So if I add in the marigolds and I don't get tomato hornworms, is it really from the marigolds, or is it just they don't show up in my garden? And that's the hard thing for each gardener to figure out. So I don't think I've noticed anything, specific. I think flowers and herbs that flower, what they do the most is they bring in beautiful pollinators to help out your garden, and they bring in predatory insects and stuff like that. So it does help the ecosystem, but planting a marigold under a tomato plant's not going to stop a problem from showing up if it wants to show up. And marigolds too, you want the old French marigolds that the leaves stink. They've been bred so that you get beautiful flowers and less scent from the leaves. So it was really the strong scent from the marigolds, the French marigolds, that made the difference.
I love using basil. Let that
Yeah.
flower and what? Oh my god! It just this plus the
Sage,
smell. The
too.
smell sounds great. And the smell is like oof. You go into the garden, between that and marigolds, you get that smell. It's great.
Have you ever done any trap cropping, Gary?
I missed that. Can you say that again?
Do you have any experience, or have you ever tried out any trap cropping? Like,
Yeah, I've experimented with it before. And, here's the funny thing. In the front of my property, I have a circle. And right there, when I was writing Edible Landscape, I was doing a thing with just scattering kale and seeds out there and stuff. So all that has come in. It's not being treated, and it doesn't have a single hole on it. So if that was like a trap crop, they're not going to it. So my thought is a trap crop to catch the bugs is great, but then you do want to kill them. If not, they're going to multiply and they're going to fly over to your garden.
right.
And so I think there's benefit, but going back to what we were saying earlier, it's really about a routine. If you have a spray routine and a pest management routine, that works best. Inside of a garden, maybe there is a specific plant that's going to draw maybe that white moth that lays the green worm, in your brassica. Or maybe there's a crop within your garden that pulls insects to it. I don't know what that is, so that would be something I would probably want to learn more about. But I feel like if trap crops and companion planting and marigolds, if there was something that was so golden, at least the three of us would know, we would know what that is. But I really think it's the routine. Like, it's up to the gardener to keep a routine in place and take care of their plants.
So the next question is
Mushroom
up by
compost.
Laura.
Yeah. So many things in my garden are dying, I think, because of trying this new trend. So I don't understand it. Maybe if she could throw out another question just to clarify, if she feels like mushroom compost might be affecting your garden, that shouldn't happen. Mushrooms and the mycelium and all that compost shouldn't harm your other plants, but I want to be able to answer her question correctly. I grow wine cap mushrooms right next to my garden, and they spread through the wood mulch and they pop up everywhere in my garden, and I'm not getting any kind of harm or anything from like that. But it's possible anytime you're buying bagged products that something's not right with them. And the tough thing with bagged products is they're not really regulated, so you don't necessarily know what you're getting. So you want to make sure, you kind of learn about the company and what you're using, but I don't feel like mushroom compost would be specifically harmful, if that's what was being asked. So my book you can find Amazon. You can find The Modern Homestead Garden there. You can pre-order Growing an Edible Landscape. They're at most online bookstores. Anything that you can order online, you can find them. Books A Million, etc. I am upset though that when I go into the bookstore, I see my friend Callie Kim's book there, but my book is not there yet. So I'm like, come on, I want to see it on the shelf just for fun. But she's got hers on the shelf. I don't have mine on the shelf. Worm farming. I am late and sorry if it has been discussed already. It hasn't. worm farming, again, in respect to worm composting, like I have a worm bin that I've used before, and that works really well. However, when I switched over to having tons of leaf mold and leaf compost and compost, I didn't really need to do the worm farming anymore, because when you do leaf composting, the worms actually naturally move in, they break down the leaves, you have eggs in there, you have worms in there. So when you're moving them into your garden, you're also moving eggs and worms into there too.
There we go.
But worm farming works.
You guys,
So the slug system, I kind of created it accidentally by I like the clay pots. So I had them throughout my garden, and I covered up one, and then and it's not I learned a lot in the garden, it's just by being out there and interacting. So when I lifted it, it was just filled with all these slugs. Most of them were leopard slugs. The other thing I want to say is you want to learn what are good insects. So the leopard slugs tend to not eat your plants, and they do more for decomposing matter, and they eat actually bad slugs. But it's sort of like a slug hotel. So they all move in, and you can lift the pot up, you can look at the slugs, and you can remove the ones that are harmful and kind of get rid of them. So I know between snails and slugs, there's probably like 60,000 variety across the world. So you do have to learn a little bit about what works in your garden. But it's really effective. The clay pot inside stays cool, so the worms just cling to it. The pot on the outside keeps it moist, and it just creates a great haven for slugs and snails.
so Adrian, we got about 7 more minutes. Adrian, do you have any other questions that you have written down?
I think you kind of answered the one question I was going to ask, was like what sparked your passion for gardening, but you said it was your grandfather. And then I was going to ask you, like, when did you know, or how did you know that you wanted to start a YouTube channel? Like, were you watching YouTube? Were you watching anybody before you started your channel?
I wasn't. So I'm 56. I was in high school when the first Mac came in. So I was like the first group of kids to be exposed to technology, which is awesome. So I wasn't afraid of it. So I learned about computers and kind of all the digital world growing up, from high school through college and stuff like that. And then YouTube showed up. And I'm like, well, I'd like to make a video. Let me just see what it's about. It'd be kind of cool. And the first video might have been the squash one, I think you were saying. And I think it was the worst video ever. It was like, I think I said, I've been away I've been on vacation, or I've been away from the garden, and now it's time to tend the garden. And what that did in my brain was like, why are you trying to be like somebody else? What do you want to do? How do you want your garden videos to be? And that kind of set me off to kind of what I do now. But I didn't know. I mean, like I was saying earlier in the show, I like doing the videos. I like the technology. I enjoyed it. It was a break sort of from being a mental health therapist and dealing with, major illnesses with people and helping them with their life. I could come home and just do something that was creative, and I could see pretty much an instant impact. You clear the soil, you plant a seed, you see a thing. And I really just enjoyed the videos. And it seriously was like, after a year, maybe I had 1,000 subscribers or something like that. And maybe I made, 6 cents or under $1 for a month. And I'm like, well, if I can double that and then double it again, I can just start buying stuff for my garden, and I save a little bit of money. And it really took off. But I like this format.
Well, we all learn a lot so much off you, Gary. Now, one last question for me. Using aspirin, how often do you use that during a year?
So I start with, and there's a recent video on it, but I start when the tomato plant's about 18 inches tall. And aspirin has salicylic acid in it, which basically mimics a hormone in the tomato plant. And I just want to be clear, it only works for the tomato plants, maybe pepper plants or the nightshade family, but this is only for tomato plants. So when you spray the aspirin on the tomato plant, it thinks it's released this hormone, because it's being attacked by a pest or a fungus, and it beefs up its defenses. So right now I'm spraying every 14 to 21 days seems pretty good. You know, you don't have to do it every 7 days. A month seems a little bit long, but you're spraying the spray on every 3 weeks, let's say, to put this hormone on there. Well, to put the salicylic acid on there to trigger a response for the tomato to beef up its defenses. And if you do it, you notice the leaf will get kind of thicker, a little bit more leathery, and I think it does make a difference. You know, the biggest change for me growing tomatoes was hydrogen peroxide. Spraying the leaves with a dilute hydrogen peroxide literally cleans the leaves from early blight and other fungi.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Gary, thank you so much for coming on. We could go on for a long, long time.
Right.
I know Adrian and I could just go on and on and on and on. You know, you start writing questions down, and you're like, well, I will get to 2 questions.
Yeah.
You know, you write all those notes down. It's like, okay, what did you talk
Time
about?
flies.
Well, I
We're
appreciate you
good
coming on.
in the future.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll love to have you. And so go check out the Rustic Garden and become a member and help Gary out, and you're gonna be helped out. Your garden will start to flourish, and you have the problems. Gary has the answers, and
I bet everybody in the chat has probably learned at least one thing from Gary.
And I mean, I enjoy it. So if you have a question, just leave a comment. I answer like 95% of them. So you can always throw a question in the comments off of the video.
Awesome.
That's a beautiful cover you got there for your next book too, Gary. The edible landscape. I like that cover, is really nice.
Well, thank you. We went through a lot to get it to that. So it's good to hear you say that.
I really like that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gary, and we'll talk. Hopefully, we'll have you on soon. And thank you so much for coming.
Great to meet you, Gary.
Good to meet you both, and thank you so much for having me on.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah, great.
And I really look forward to having him on again. That's great.
Absolutely.
Mike and Terry from MT Homestead they're in the basement, but I got to give away some gifts right away. So we're going to give 5 things away quick. So we're going to give the Modern Homestead Garden Book. So we're going to give that away first. Then we're going to give away some deep fried garlic cloves.
Yum.
So we get some of those. Write that down. Garlic cloves. And then we're going to give away these cuties. So it comes with, it's like almost like a little book in here. Whoop, whoop.
Cuties.
So if you're crochet or anything, this is pretty awesome. So we're going to give that away. Then we got for autism awareness. These are from Lisa, Lady Bird Loves. So some stitch markers, which is pretty cool.
Oh, those are neat. Very nice.
So thank you, Lisa, for doing that. So we're going to give away 2 of those. And then we'll come back and give away seeds and a lot of other stuff. So let's do that quick. Then we're going to, we got Mike and Terry from MT Homestead. So let's get this going quick. And good luck, everyone. Good luck.
Good luck. Are we doing the polka, Joe?
We got the polka. Everybody said, stop the other music. Just do the polka. Just do the polka. So we'll continue doing the polka. So I'm shuffling. Thank you for all the mods for helping out the channel, keeping it safe. Okay, good luck, everyone. So here goes the book. I'm going to get through this fast here, guys.
All right.
Congratulations. Congratulations to Tammy. Let us know that you're in the chat. So let us know if you guys see Tammy. Congratulations to Tammy. Okay, here's the animal cuties. Let's see who's going to win this. You got to email me if you win. But if you don't want any of this, you want seeds, you win too. So if you want to give it away, give it away. Wow, I'm here. So Tammy, do you want the book? Do you want to give it away? Let us know. Do you want the yarn barf?
Yarn barf, perfect winner for the perfect prize.
So congratulations to yarn barf. Okay, garlic cloves. So we need to know if you guys want to win. Say put it in all caps for everybody could see it. So let us know, Tammy, if you want the book. Yarn barf, let us know if you want the animal cuties. Lulu's Treasure Trove.
Tammy wants the book, Joe.
All right, congratulations. Lulu's Treasure Trove. You won the garlic cloves.
Congratulations.
Okay, and the 2 stitch markers. We got Mike and Terry.
Uh-oh. I think you're frozen, Joe.
And the next one, I'm trying to hurry up here, guys. I froze. I said I froze. I got Lulu's Treasure Trove. Because I froze. I got stuck. Yarn barf is here, so yarn barf, you want some garlic cloves. Oh no, yarn barf won. 1 second. And PJ.
Yarn barf won the cuties.
Yeah, the cutie. So congratulations to Yarn Barf. She is here. So you want animal cuties. And the last 2 was stitch markers, which was 2%, and PJ Selfo. So 2%, you want a stitch marker. It's autism awareness. Let us know what you want. If you want the stitch marker, or do you want to give it away, or you just want seeds? So let us know in the chat. So we got Mike and Terry from MT Homestead. So we had the 3 winners. So we got Tammy, Yarn Barf, and Lulu's Treasure Trove all said yes. And so we're looking for 2% and PJ Skelfo, and 2% is here. We just need to know if she wants the stitch marker. She's gonna know. She says she's gonna take dwarf tomatoes, 2%. So I'm not going to go over the tomato variety. I'll just email me 2% and congratulations, and I'll send you dwarf tomatoes.
Everyone email Joe.
So if the mods could show that, I appreciate that. So here's Mike and Terry for MT Homestead. Welcome in. I seen you at 7:20. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they messed up the time, or did I screw up the time? So I'm going through the thing, and I'm like, this happened before. I had all my emails went through, and it said 8:20. Not to you, it was another host, another guest. And it was 8:20, 8:20, 8:20, 8:20. Then my last time, I wrote 7:20 by mistake. And I'm like, they showed up at 7:20. I was waiting at 7:20 for you. They never, I was like, oh no, I wonder if I did the same thing.
He saw you were on, and we didn't realize you went on that early. And it was like, wait, are we supposed to be?
Did we get the times mixed up?
We were all, and it was like, okay. I said, I'm sure he said 7:20.
Yeah. I was wrong again.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Well, I know. Well, my wife's right all the time. I'm always wrong. So it's if I start to fight it all the time.
Well, that's why I got married. I was tired of being right all the time. And I was depressed because there was nobody there to tell me what to do. So I got it all now. Yeah.
There you go.
All smiles.
There you go. There you go.
So talk about a little bit about the meetup. You know what's funny? I'm watching online and I'm like, hey, who is that in the background? And I'm like, that looks like Scott. Then I'm thinking, oh my God, it's Scott. It's Rambling with the Brums.
Yeah, that was a tight held secret.
Yeah. Although it almost got out a couple times.
It almost got out a couple times, mainly by me. But it was people got together and helped pay for him to come down. So he flew into Tulsa. We went and picked him up under, covert conditions. And we picked him up. He stayed with us. Terry fed him until he fell asleep. And the next day we went to the meetup. So, and it was a surprise for Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead. So that was a secret to be kept.
Yeah.
Because we figured somebody in the group that helped him get here was going to say something, but it was pretty good. So I'm glad he came. I mean, you see, we've known Scott for the longest time, never met him, but to spend quality time with him and get to know who he is and stuff was really good for us.
Yeah. Speaking
he's like a brother to me. We have so many similarities, coaching football, helping out kids in the past, and all these little gardening and just the way we go about life.
Yeah.
It's like my brother, it's like, wow.
Exactly.
Your brother from Canada.
Yeah. The meetup was we started planning the meetup in December and it wasn't enough time.
Yeah.
However, we did have a co-host that absolutely made this thing work. We had a channel. Her name is the Oklahoma Grammy, Sandra Madrano. And I believe Sandra Madrano knows everybody in Oklahoma or knew them when they were young. And now they're like store managers and stuff like that.
And then on Facebook, I see she's somehow related to Josh Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
who knew?
It was she beat the streets for 6 months and got us 30 major sponsors for the
Wow, that's amazing.
We're talking Academy Sports, Lowe's, Walmart,
Nice.
Sam's. Who else was there?
Party City.
Wow.
Party City, the dollar store,
Tractor Supply.
Those are the big
And
names.
it just went on and on and on. And it was like they gave prizes, they gave gift cards.
They gave food.
I mean, Olive Garden and Taco Bell and McDonald's. And we gave away a stack of gift cards like this thing. By the time we got to the meetup, when we got there, we had all this stuff. Our trailer was just packed to the hilt. I mean, you talk about 30 cases of soda, bug juice.
We had that camper loaded down.
We had 10 cases of 50 count chips of every kind from Walmart and Sam's Club. And it just went on and on. Then when we got there, everybody started coming up to us and said, hey, we made this basket. We want you to give it away. We want you to give this away. Fishing poles and all. It was nuts. 3 hours worth of giveaways straight.
Wow.
And then pulling a ticket, reading the number, handing it to them, pulling a ticket for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Jeez, I hope you had something to drink.
How much giveaway? And we made a conscious decision to say, okay, if somebody wins, we throw their ticket right back in the pot. There are some people, they have the luck of the Irish or something because they winning 3 and 4 times.
Oh, Into the Mist won like 7.
Yeah,
Lindsay.
it was crazy.
Wow.
And I saw Mrs. Gillum Farms in here. She won several times.
She
as
won
well.
3
Yeah.
times, and her husband won too.
Yep.
Nice.
And they didn't even know that it was happening until she accidentally was watching Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and she was talking about the meetup. And she's, wait a minute, that's right down the street from us.
It's right down the road.
We didn't even know about this thing. So they came. They had a blast. We have new friends and family
Yes.
within the homesteading community, the ranching community, the RVing community was there, the fishing community. We had all kinds of people. There was, we had 194, and 100 of those were channels that we knew of. And then later on, we found out through our lives, they said, oh, there was a guest book. We counted 194 sign-ins just from the guest book. But it was just, and people we didn't even know was coming, because for 6 months, we said, hey, let us know if you're coming. We started compiling a list. We had one of subscribers, we had one of channels, and then they just blew us out of the water, people just showing up. It was absolutely insane.
It was awesome, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to say, Best Yet Journey and TT's Urban Pantry. I see guys in the basement, so they're coming on around 8:40, somewhere's around there.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, hi guys in the basement. Sometimes you don't know, like it's kind of
Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate what you guys do. I mean, you guys go live, you guys gel together, you guys are a great couple. Just the way you. If I'm with my wife, I just let her talk.
Well, we've learned from the beginning, if I'm talking or she's talking, and then you hear and then you just stop talking, so we don't run over each other. So
we try.
It's a crazy balance that we've learned to. At beginning, I was going like, can I finish my thing? Now it just goes back and forth, and we've learned off of each other and stuff like that. But I just want to say that the people that work behind the scenes we may have been the face of it and stuff like that, but we couldn't have pulled this off without JB Conway. She lives 5 minutes from Cherokee Landing State Park, and she knows everybody in that area. And she was doing a lot of coordinating the Airbnbs, getting information to people that was looking for stuff and things like that.
She even had her guys go out and put flea and tick pellets down in the campground, so
Yeah.
nobody.
Nice.
She had her work staff, Ed and Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, they were tired when they got done, because she said, she's a businesswoman. She owns her own business up there, and she knows what to do, how to do it, and when to get it done. And she was just a godsend that we had her right there 5 minutes from the campground. So
Rochelle, yeah, we used to sound like Eric and Monica.
Yeah, we used to, but not just them. Then there's Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead, big part of this whole thing. And one of the things that really impressed me about the people that came, or the people in this community, and it was the gardening. I mean, we are garden gals, came all the way from Florida in an RV. Yeah. They drove straight through to get to the meetup, and it was we had an emergency, and Jesse and Lisa. Jesse's mom fell ill really bad, and subsequently she has passed away, but we were getting ready to start the fishing tournament there that we were going to have. And somebody came up and said that Jesse's mom has been taken to the hospital and stuff. And we were in, at hour 1.5 in the giveaways, and we just stopped. And everybody pitched in to get them on the road and headed back to Texas. We had Tiny Tim Posey. He rides with a religious bike group. He said a prayer for their travels, for their mom and stuff, and it was just a dead silence. Everybody was having fun, everything. But then when they heard a family member, we call everybody family members, friends and family, and everybody stopped what they were doing to help our brother and sister get back on the road. And
that was the best part of the whole meetup.
Yeah. And I pray
Knowing
that
we have people like that.
You know, Jesse can find comfort.
And that's what it's all about.
In losing his mother this way. She's blessed. She's in a better place, as he says. I truly believe that. And the family came together to help them. And that was just so touching to me and a lot of people.
And we love you, Jesse and Lisa.
Yes. And they're in the chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're absolutely wonderful people.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody, I heard about the whole thing, you know, from far here, and without their help, without everybody's help there, they would have never been on time to see them and talk, you know. So they would have just totally missed that point because they were able to have a.
And I think that's the true blessing that he got to be there with her.
Yeah.
That is a true blessing. So
definitely.
Absolutely.
But it was absolutely, I mean, there's 97 camping spots there. Everything when we looked online was red and reserved.
Now part of it was from
but they had another group that was there. We're partying, and there is Narcotics Anonymous having a weekend thing there.
Oh wow!
So their thing, and we're just having a party. So it was kind of uncomfortable and stuff like that for a minute. And they said, hey, you know what, guys, you do you. We're fine and stuff like that. And at night, some of our guys from the meetup, they go over to their pavilion because they're doing karaoke all night. I mean, I don't think I've ever went to karaoke night and I hadn't been drinking, so I don't know what I sound like. So. I just stayed over at our campsite. So, but it was fun. They had fun, you know, fishing and swimming and you know, doing all kinds of stuff. And it was just, we had some big channels, 100,000 plus. We had one channel that's over 300,000 there. And we had small channels that are just starting out. And, you know, these smaller channels, and we always tell people, go to meetups, because meetups is where you collaborate with people. You get to meet people because we're all subscribers.
Yes.
Okay. We're all subscribers first.
Yeah.
And then some of us have channels and stuff like that, but it's about building relationships, working out collaborations with other channels, getting new ideas. We had speakers, Tim Roberts from Ridge Life, Country Road Cure, Anthony and Roxanne, Simple Life Reclaim, Mel and Gary, and then Three Mississippi, Mike and Sid, all talked about aspects of doing a channel and homesteading and stuff like that. So big channels talking about important subjects and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the questions that people, you know, there's a lot of people that go to these things, they're on the fence about starting a channel and stuff like that. And I never heard anybody say, oh yeah, don't start a channel. It's not as glamorous as you think it is. It takes up a lot of your life and stuff. No, they were encouraging.
Yeah.
And these are the positive things, always positive. And that's what's great about creators and stuff like that. And then helping them out. I mean, there's channels that says, I went to your meetup and I didn't even realize it. I gained 250, 300 subscribers just being on your channel. Because my suggestion to everybody, it's okay to film you. Don't do like we did when we started out. We had everybody on our channel. Well, everybody that subscribed to us knows us. It's getting on everybody else's channel so they could make you. And that's what people did. And their channels grew. It was crazy. It's like the Gillums, they came in there at 400 and something, and they're at 900 and something already. Because now people know who they are. And they came there and they said, we didn't even know you guys existed. We thought we were like the fish in the ocean by ourselves. But they realized how many channels are around them now. So So, and we just got back from the Okie Homesteading Expo. Got to meet Doug and Stacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's
With
awesome.
them and stuff like that. Daniel Arms was there. Dutch.
We missed Daniel.
We missed him. He was in between a kids' baseball game and us being there. But Dutch was there. Hidden Heights Farms was there. I mean, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And if you were in the beekeeping one, the banquet hall was just packed about beekeeping and stuff like that. They had breakout sessions about milk goats, butchering rabbits, how to deer harvest and butcher your own deer, things like that. It was just constantly something going. If you were into chickens, if you were into seeds, if whatever it was there for you. So
Awesome.
at that one too.
You guys, thank you guys so much for coming on. I know we could go on for another hour.
Yeah.
Funday goes way too fast.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys had us on.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I really want to do a lot. I want to go to a lot of meetups next year. Hopefully, we could do that because it's so much fun.
We're in a hotbed down here in mid-America. I mean, Oklahoma is a hotbed for channels.
Oklahoma,
Arkansas, and Missouri. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for having us on.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Been one of the longest members of my channel.
Oh, good.
And so you're one of the first people that actually subscribed to me, and I appreciate all you guys support and love. So
we just need some of that good luck coming back our ways that you got. I didn't realize how many gardening channels were out there. There's thousands upon thousands of you, and we don't garden because we're afraid of the locusts that come here every single year. We got here the first year and we're going, oh my gosh. I looked at her, I said, what did you do wrong? We're not talking hundreds, we're talking billions of them. They ate all our fruit trees. They ate all the leaves off every tree. And then she goes, well, they only come every once in a while. And then the next year they came even harder and hit us again and stripped everything, all our tomatoes, everything. So we're coming up on finishing our third year here. Now we're scared. We don't even plant no more because they come every single year.
Wow.
Anyway, we got to let him get his next guest up. We
All right. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you guys so much.
All right.
See you guys soon. Take care. We could really go on for a long time.
I know. It's so easy. It's so easy to talk about everything.
So our next guest is TT's Urban Pantry and Best Yet Journey. Now, you know what's funny about Best Yet Journey? I still go around going, whoop, whoop. I'll be at a store. I see something. And I'll be going, whoop, whoop. It's ingrained in my brain.
Whoop, whoop.
Her whoop, whoop show has me trained for life. Oh, no. Oh, I'm back. There we go. But, yeah, it's funny how many times I would say whoop, whoop during a week.
I know. I still say it, too. I say it when I'm talking to my kids. I say it all the time.
Now, I don't know what's going on with their is it Humble Stewards Crafting?
Yes, Humble
Stewards Crafting. But they do a lot of crafting ideas. And I used to watch it live all the time, but I don't get any kind of notices anymore. So we can find out a little bit about that. TT's Urban Pantry. Well, it's a pantry, so you know what you're going to get. A lot of stuff for the pantry and canning and things like that with cooking. And Lydia at Best Yet Journey. I mean, what an amazing person and personality. So let's welcome them in. Here is Lydia from Best Yet Journey. Here's Stuart from TT's Urban Pantry.
Hi, guys. What do you guys got going on? I've been under a rock. We got Adrian and Joe on one platform. What? This is co-host now.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is going on with the show.
Oh my goodness, you talking about what's been going on with me? What's going on? I look like I've been missing gifts and surprises and guests.
Lots of guests. Yes,
Lots of guests. I love the way it's already been the first person, now another person, now us.
Another one.
Oh,
Mhm.
I like that now. That's too much now. I like that. I like that.
I need somebody in the background so I can concentrate my stuff and they could just do the show.
Oh my goodness. Hey Tia.
Okay, what time is it?
Hi, lady.
Hey.
Hi.
So what you guys been up to? How's your the channel that you guys have together? How's that going?
Tia, you tell them.
Humble Stores is going great. Just with the summer months coming up, we've been really busy. You haven't gotten any notifications because we haven't been on.
Okay. I was just making sure because I know I was like, am I missing them?
Nope. I'll randomly post a short. Both me and Lydia randomly post a short or maybe a quick little video, but we haven't been live. We are trying to coordinate that and get back with it. Just stick with us, y'all.
Well, we watching, we waiting.
I can tell you one thing. We got so many ideas coming for Humble Steward. When we come back again, we probably do a lot of ideas we thought of before we had to take a break. And majority we took a break because of my work schedule. So I work from 6:45 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., which is like a 12-hour shift, but I get like 2 big breaks. So I'm caught up on sleep, but I'm not totally caught up on sleep. And I'd be like, I can't commit. But if she go live without me, I'd be like, y'all did that without me.
She will.
Yeah, but I'm sitting right here on crocheting chain. I started just sitting in a chat one day, and this is my craft.
Do it.
Yeah, this is my crafting. This is my crafting area. I have everything you got right back there in that corner. Look at that cricket. Look at that cricket in the corner, Tia.
I saw it.
I've been making my daughter's graduation decorations.
Okay.
She's graduating Thursday. So I have been doing all her centerpieces and posters and photo boards and banners. And
that's what it's for.
That's what it's for. Yeah, I didn't get this gift for nothing.
Do you have sublimation printer?
No, not yet.
Tia has a sublimation printer, and she was nice enough to send me what I wanted, and then I put it on something in the oven.
Yeah, you did a shirt and a cup.
I did a shirt and a cup, but she just printed it home, and I ironed it on.
And then you did it. Okay.
And then I did it. So
nice.
Crafting is amazing. Crocheting is amazing. I'm not as good as I would want to be, but I can make a blanket.
Well, we can all get better. We can all get better.
I can make a blanket, I can make a hat, and I can make a scarf. But tell me follow a pattern for something else, be like, no.
Oh no, I can't do that.
That's not me.
That ain't what we're here for. Now, the one great thing about Humble Stewards and me and Tia channel, we are humble. We take advice from anybody. You know, if you've been doing it and you could teach us your craft, like we've always wanted you to come teach us how to do stickers. You know, Tia played with it. Tia will play with some stuff. Me, I'll just be in the background. Yeah, she's came up with some stickers for her journaling because she loves to journal.
Yeah, I saw those planners and journals.
Oh, she is addicted to all of that stuff. Markers.
I used to do that in high school. It was so much fun because we would have those agenda books and you deck them all out and cut out the comics and the love is and all that. Put it all in there and all
the
above. Highlighters and fancy pens.
Mhm.
She's being that she's in the office space and she has to be organized all the time. She needs colors for certain things.
I do need to stick with it. I'm a planner girl. Don't just pop up on me. It needs to be in writing or
I got my daughter's whole party planned out, and to the point where I drew a map of the room. Okay, I drew the room. I drew where the tables are going, where all the decorations are going to be. Everything. I color coded it all. I've got things in boxes. I've got a inventory list. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm just the same way.
You gotta have it all.
Y'all can go ahead and have it. That ain't me. I just throw it here, throw it there. I want it like this, and then I change it like this.
I do change my mind, but I try to keep it as organized as I can.
Now, this room that I'm in, I can't find a way, but I think this is my new way. So it's a big old couch in my crafting room now, because when people come to visit, I have a small home. I like to pull the couch in here and pull out the hideaway bed. See, my husband didn't want to get a big home. So I was like, okay, well, I'll get 2 hideaway couches. So my furniture is beds.
Yes.
So when my niece was coming over, I want to give her privacy. I would pull the bed in here and give her this big space here. Well, one time it didn't make it back. And I I kind of like it in here all the time. I started watching TV and laying around in here, and I don't know. This don't came the new she shed.
Nobody snores in there. You don't hear any snoring in there, I should say.
No, you sure do not. You sure do not. And if I play
go in there, you can close the door. You can do whatever.
I don't have a door.
Oh,
I have curtains. I have to.
That's okay.
I have to close the curtain.
That's okay. My classroom is a mess. We did garage sales Friday and Saturday, so I took my tables out of there to use to put stuff on, and I just kind of put everything on the floor. It'll probably be like that for a couple of weeks until I feel like organizing it.
Especially after a garage sale, you're like, I don't want to see nothing else. I don't want to deal with no tables.
Nothing. Their tables are in the hallway.
Yeah.
So, Joe, what are we doing here on Garden State Garden? I hate to act like I'm on the Woo Woo show, but
see, what I do, what my channel, my format is, I have a main garden guest. So at 7 o'clock to 8:20, summer's 8:15, I have somebody like in my gardener. I have the top garden people in the country, and that's what I've been doing. The top hot pepper people in the world. I'm trying to get the best guest I could find and try to get on my show. And I have great success lately. And then at my next segment, which is 8:20, then 8:40. So I try to go and I try to get gifts somewhere as an hour away during that time and after. And then 8:20 or 8:40, it's more of a crochet crafting channel that follow us. And then I have another YouTube like MT Homestead, or I could grab a Stock Explorer, just people around, try to group them with somebody else that they're grouped together already, and have another discussion. And so it's a way to get them out.
Networking.
Yeah, it's a great way to network everybody together.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the replay with Ann. Ann, the one let me know. I ended up missing it, but she told me it was so exciting. She learned about stuff she never learned, and she told me I had to see it. So don't spoil it. I've heard good things, and I'm still learning, and I love still how you bring us all together. I love it. I mean, this is what you do, and this is what you did from day one, and I appreciate you for that. So I know I get to come back one more time.
Whoop whoop.
I got 2 channels and all. Maybe I'll get on somebody else. But I love the fact that you come in and let us be us. And, You're not interviewing us. You just ask away, what's going on? And that's it. Right. It's an interview.
It's so easy.
It's following you as a person and what you do. You know, when you guys were in your humble, see with the crafting or crochet segment, it was like, who do I want to have in today? And I was like, I want to have Best Journey on. I want to have Lydia on. And I'm like, TT's been with me forever, since the beginning. They're both together. Let's see if we can get them on.
We are a duo. We are a pair.
And you know, me and TT became a duo by accident, kind of, sort of, on the back end of the cricket. Now, crickets are expensive. I mean, anybody who don't have the money to throw around just to purchase one of those $200-300 things. Now, after we got one, we realized we don't even use it that much.
Yeah. What do we do with it? That's the question. Yeah. Everybody got it. What do we do with it?
They're intimidating.
One day,
very intimidating.
One day we were just talking about something, and she showed me she got this cricket. And I've always wanted one of them. And the very 2 days later, I got it. And I think I started crocheting, and 2 days later, she started crocheting. We just started sharing pictures from that. We were already just like sending each other seeds or saying hello or things like that. But then one day, you know, we realized we wasn't doing nothing. And we just said, let's make a channel. And I think we were playing at first.
Well, because we would be on the cricket. We would be doing other stuff, and we would be live with each other
on Google
Meet. So long that Google would cut us off, and then we'd have to redo it.
Yeah, so she would walk me through everything just like a kindergartner, and walk me through it, and then I would mess up so much. But she hung in there with me. And we figured that thing out together. And one day, like after 3 weeks, I think we was like, we should make a channel.
We can go live with this.
We could be live. That's what's the idea. We could be live and don't care if we just two there. We do that anyway with nobody. We could just do live. And it found out so many other people love crafting.
Goodness. We had no idea. It opened the door to so much.
Yeah. And our first video that we were making, and I was like, Tia, say that thing you said the other day. She's like, I seen a girl do it, so I did it. YouTube see, YouTube do. And that just took off. And without her even knowing, I went right on Canva.
She did.
And sent it. She printed it and put it on the shirt, and it was over. Because that's what we do. We see somebody else do it, and we want to do it. That's just how it goes.
That's what this platform is.
That's how it is. That's what this place is for. And I appreciate everybody who comes up there with the tutorials, how to do the purses, how to do the hats, how to do the garden, how to grow in milk cartons like we used to do at school. Thank you, Andy. You know, just so many things. How to try to take care of your space, how to take care of what you have, using what you have to get to what you need to be. Miss, I mean, the first time I saw Indiana put her old windows over the garden for a greenhouse effect. I said, oh, that was smart. I had some panel plastic. I did the same thing. And if I had never seen that little bit, you know, it's all about your circle. It's all about your circle. And if your circle is feeding you good things, you better latch on to it. Because I don't know about all those hot
learn something from each other.
Yeah, we do learn stuff from each other. I learned a lot from Tia. She's been a great tool and friend for me. And you know, I don't know about Joe with all these hot peppers. So Joe, you like eating hot peppers or something? Because
I like the pepper powders. The hot pepper powders.
I do too.
Do you dehydrate those peppers? Yep. I have diverticulitis. I had 2 resections. I can't go grab a Carolina Reaper and just eat it. You know, I could have effects with it. But if I put it on a powder, dehydrate the hot pepper, no problems at all.
That's what I like to do. Just get all the pepper varieties because I'm going to dehydrate them. I don't want to bite into it. I don't want to cook with that, but I'm going to dehydrate it. And you can make so many blends and
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
Because
Wonderful.
then you can use it in moderation. You can
Yes.
you can control it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people just want to torture themselves. I have no idea.
Have you seen Joe's garden lately? Joe has 4 gardens.
I seen his backyard 2 years ago, and I said, "Oh, this man over here growing. I don't
He's
see
growing.
Yeah, he over here growing. So I don't look at a lot of his videos that's in him in the garden. But did you post? You posting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This year. Well, last year I tore my Achilles tendon.
I remember.
4 years prior, my son had cancer. So to have enough time when you work 16 hours a day and try to figure out how to garden and now I got to make a video. It just doesn't,
Yep.
You don't have that time.
Hey, the last guy that was just on, the family that was on, he says, if you're going to be a YouTuber, it's not what it's cracked up to be. Is that what he said? What did that guy say about being a YouTuber?
He was talking about how the bigger channels were encouraging the smaller channels at their meetups.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody ever says, like, oh no, don't start a channel because it's not what it's all cracked up to be. He said usually the bigger channels are encouraging for everyone to start, for other ones to start channels and not the other way around.
Yeah, I think anybody who wants to share knowledge, they should have a channel, because regardless if I thought I was teaching or not, I have taught somebody. My best video is a short of me lighting the charcoal. That's it.
People search for that.
And it was a short, and had I knew it was going to be as great as it is, I would have made it.
Right.
Video.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a few weird people over there, but the video is 2 years old, so get out of here.
Hey, whatever you have, put it out there. That's all.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever you
good,
have.
bad, ugly.
Hey, y'all, I post videos. I might be upside down. Or sideways. Or your head might be chopped off. It'll come together after a while.
Right. Your videos are hilarious, Lydia, because
They are. Be
saying whatever comes to her mind, like, oh no.
Because they're real. They're what you see with Lydia is exactly what you get. She's not playing fake phony.
Right.
That's Liddy B.
Now, what I wish I had in real life is a camera person that held the camera, or
absolutely, don't we all?
And followed me everywhere, but they really don't want to be bothered with me and my shenanigans with the video. I have been lied to and told me the button was push record, did a whole video and get the phone. I thought you said you knew what you were doing.
Right.
What happened?
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean none of that recorded. No, none of that recorded. Just forget it. I don't want to do the video.
Right.
I've had to where I've set it up myself and I've thought I pressed record and it turned around. I never turned it on, or the phone died, or it happens.
It got half the video.
Yeah, what is your favorite thing to can?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Gotta have the sauce.
Yeah, you can use those tomatoes for salsa. So much. It's a blank sheet, blank canvas.
So versatile.
So versatile.
So, do you like your salsa hot, medium, or mild?
Between hot and medium.
So you like using habaneros?
Yes, absolutely.
She
all the above.
Habanero. Did you make a peach habanero salsa?
I made a peach salsa, but I made was it peach habanero jam?
Maybe that was it.
And they got on me because I put like 15 habaneros in there. It wasn't hot.
She mailed it to me, and I told my husband, Tia sent you this. I don't even think he's ever used it yet. He might have.
Oh no.
That's terrible.
I have jars of jars of jars. They'll get used. It's the perfect time for jams.
Yes. Yep.
Because you can put it right in that barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm. You can barbecue sauce, put it over a glazed chicken, salmon, charcuterie board with some cream cheese. So much stuff.
Yeah.
See, that's what I like about how I formatted this channel. We could talk forever.
Yes.
When I talked to MT Homestead, we could talk forever. We had the guy guarding, my host, my guest today. We could talk forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all different. It's all different, but it's all linked together.
Uh-huh.
And I always said, if everybody came together, everybody could reach their goals. Everybody could learn together and become a part of a community. And that's what everybody's starting to become here.
Yeah.
Love
it.
Everyone has something to share.
Yeah,
But
everyone does.
Laugh at each other. Who cares if it's something that, or help them or help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've seen this video. Did you ever think about, doing this before?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have people have done that? Not many. But, it's time that everybody come together.
We do that. If we can't find a video on it, we're like, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I will call Tia and ask her, because she took that class. Tell them about the class she took.
That class.
What's up with that class?
The class. I took a master food preserving class. So I am a master food preserver. I had to get certified and everything. Real deal. But she'll call me and ask me, can I do this? And hold on, let me do some research.
What is
you can't do that because the A and the Y don't connect. So you can do this or you can do that, but you can't do this.
Yeah. Or I'll look for a certain recipe and it won't be a recipe for it. It'll be never been done. So she said, well, this is what you can do.
Right.
She won't let me do nothing wrong. And that's what I don't like. Because I feel like if I cook it on the stove, I should be able to put it in the jar, but it obviously can't be.
You can put it in a jar in the refrigerator.
Oh.
Yeah, indefinitely. You can't put it
in the jar. You can absolutely do that. Freeze it or put it in the refrigerator.
Okay. I'm still here.
So when do you guys think you're going to get together on your crafting channel again?
We got a surprise coming up very soon.
Very soon.
And we're gonna open it up. We're gonna open it up, the channel there. And we're gonna do something. We're gonna have to come back. We both miss putting things on shirts. I have shirts stacked up here ready to go, yarn ready to be. I still got a blue and white cake I need to create something with. So you're gonna see us soon. We're gonna do a short something live.
I have a video that I'm gonna post soon, probably sometime this week, but you will see something from me and Lydia and another special guest here soon, within a couple of less than a week.
That sounds good.
And as far as me and the Woo Woo Show with my schedule, I get every Monday off. So I'm probably gonna try to bring it back once a month or once every 2 months, two a month, and try to commit to it, because I have left people, in the queue to come, and I want to bring them on, and I want to have fun, and I want to bring the game back, and I just love coming around and just seeing everybody smile, and just the chat is amazing.
Having fun.
This chat is amazing today. So, you guys, thank you all for being here. And you have one of my great chat. Well, she's not a channel, Jane Doe. That's my little secret. I love Jane. I see you a moderator, Jane, over here. She's so helpful and so honest and sweet.
She's so sweet. So sweet.
She's
Yeah.
she's awesome.
When we would be on Humble Stores all by herself, she'd be right there holding on with us. Giving us all the great ideas. Yes.
Okay.
It all starts somewhere.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today. I
you.
really
My
appreciate it. It's good to see you guys smile, laughing, and oh, it's great.
Coach, it's great to see you. I'm glad I didn't have to witness no jelly beans going in your mouth. I would have probably been like,
No, I want to grab good jelly beans now.
well,
Joey hasn't been on.
All grown up now. He
don't
doesn't
grab
do
no
jelly
dish
beans no
detergent
more.
one. Don't
Oh
grab
my God.
no nasties.
No nasties. No whammies.
No
Joey's supposed to
whammies.
come on in like 2 weeks or something like that. He wants to come on. But I got to stake a couple of these. These are not that bad. Irregular jelly beans.
Irregular.
I got these from Jesse and Lisa from Lazy Days Ahead. And
But those are the good ones.
most of them are really good.
Yeah,
They're
those
just
are
regular
those
shapes.
are the good ones. Those aren't
So-
the bamboozled ones.
Yeah, those are not the bamboozled ones that
Right.
Joey like to give.
Oh,
I like to go when I see a candy store and they have the jelly beans where I can pick the flavor. I'm gonna get a bag of this flavor by itself and this flavor by itself.
Oh yeah, like the Jolly Ranchers when you can buy the Jolly Ranchers.
Yes.
I love that. Or all watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, if I have to choose a jelly bean, Joe, it'll be buttered popcorn jelly bean.
Yes. Love
Something
popcorn.
about that
I love
flavor.
the green apple.
I like green apple too.
My taste will never be the same after I had stink bug.
Oh.
If I have that right now, I think I'll go right to the bathroom behind me because I don't know if I could do it.
Oh my goodness.
No.
I would need some. That's when a hot pepper powder would come in handy.
Mhm.
Right, to burn that taste out of your mouth.
I really don't know if I could do it. That and barf and
Yeah.
Right, and dirty dishwater.
dirty
Ugh.
dishwater is not as bad as the other ones.
Oh no.
Give me the toothpaste one. That toothpaste one, that's supposed to be bad, or I'm like, oh, thank God. Woo!
You're right.
I said, poor man. Lord, I just like Joey. No.
Mhm.
Joey, no. Give him some
He's all
sweet
grown
one.
up now. He doesn't do the jelly beans no more.
Yeah,
He hasn't done
that's every 6 months they take a different leap in life. Look at me. I used to be sweet world. What happened? I lost my whole sweet world.
They do.
Aw.
They do. They are so inconsistent.
Yeah, they change up quick.
His
Well, I
voice
left
has
the
changed
post
and
about
everything.
Joe. Well, I left the post about Joey in my community page. If you guys want to check that out,
I saw
Okay.
that.
yeah, he's having some situations still. So yeah, just gotta hope for the best with his journey and stuff. Because there's a lot of ups. There's ups and downs. There's twists and
Right.
turns.
Mhm.
So each time there's a turn, which way is it going to go? Nobody
Yeah.
knows. The
Nobody
doctors don't
knows.
know. We don't know. I just want to hopefully he can live a normal life. That's
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Well, we're
He
praying
wants to
for
play.
him, Joe.
He wants to play football now, right?
Oh,
He can't even run here to not far ahead.
yeah.
And he has a port.
First
He has a
up.
port. You hit the port. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
No.
But he has certain talents that is like,
Mhm.
oh my God, I used to coach all these years. You have a talent
Yeah.
that you don't. It's something that you don't teach. He just naturally has.
Mhm.
Actually have it.
Gifted. Mhm.
Yeah, and
And this is when we need to find a flag football team and let him coach it.
yeah, coach it. You got to coach.
This
Yeah,
is when we bring
there you
out the inner coach right now and get him to take care of himself so he can be a light to everybody else.
Absolutely.
And he watches games on TV
Yeah,
and have Super Bowl
Yeah.
parties.
well, we're forcing Joey to do certain things, and he doesn't even know it. He actually enjoys it. Like we have him playing the trumpet. Imagine
awesome.
imagine having a half a lung trying to play the trumpet.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
How do you do that? Kids
That's
don't
one
know
way to
any
strengthen
better.
your lungs.
Yeah, but kids don't know any better. They enjoy it. They do it. So he's doing something. We're not forcing him at all. He wants it. So we have lessons for him. He goes to school, does his thing.
Mhm.
I couldn't be prouder. His grade point average in high school is a 97 grade point average.
Nice.
Okay, 97.
So, yeah, Ivy League, please. Who wants to pay for him?
Hey.
I mean, for me, I don't think I ever had a 97.
I know, right?
And that's through.
We're not going to talk about
college.
We're talking about years because I was in 1997. Now I remember that.
Right.
I remember that year very, very, very clear.
That's the year I came out of high school.
Yeah, I remember 97. 2000 was right behind it. 2000. We only been in 2000s 23 years. That's really feels like a hop, skip, and a jump for me. But for you, Joe, being that you were a little senior than me, maybe you're not that old. You might not believe I'm about. I got a childish heart, so I come across young, but I'll be 49 my birthday.
There you go. You look great. You look.
Thank you. A lot of she ain't 40. Oh, she is 40, but I forgot.
Yeah. You know what's embarrassing for me when there's pictures taken of me, and I see myself with all gray hair, and I'm like, I'd look at myself in the mirror. I don't see too much gray hair at all.
You don't see it.
And then you see pictures. I'm like, it's a shade of gray. Oh no.
Adrian, how's Zeke doing?
He's doing good. He just turned 3 in February, but he's still my big baby. But he's doing good. He's getting bigger and bigger. He's not getting any taller, but he's getting wider now. So the other day I took him for a ride with me because I had to pick my sister up from work, and it was nighttime. And my other sister happened to be she works at Walgreens. My other sister happened to be there, and she was walking towards the car, and Zeke was not having it. He was growling from his chest. And I have not heard that from Zeke. Probably never. I've never heard him growl like that. But it was good to know because I spoil him. I spoil my baby so bad. And my husband's always telling me, "Oh, he's spoiled. He ain't never gonna be able to watch the house.
I ain't no killer, but don't push me."
He ain't never right. But that I'm telling you, he saw her walking towards the car. And baby, he was ready to eat somebody alive. I was like, okay, Zeke, where you at?
Okay.
So that was good. It was good to see that in him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to see you both. It's good to be seen.
Yeah.
Good.
So I was proud of him.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. I love you guys. I've been following you for
2
years.
Yeah.
2 years.
We came in this thing and we still in this thing and we learning so much. I'm just out here working, guys, but hey, I gotta catch up with Joe now and see about all these people. And I know I've learned tons of information from Indiana. So IBG. Sometimes with the email address, what's that? 901, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's amazing. This is my family, and I'm glad to be here, part of this amazing GCF Garden Community family, crocheting family. Come over there and teach me and Tia something. We gonna, we need you.
We're here.
We need you. We need to learn to do something, because the next time we sit down somewhere, we need to be able to make a jacket or something, not just a hat.
She said a jacket.
A jacket.
Felicia made a whole cardigan.
She did.
Oh, wow.
In like 3 days, I think.
She was going at it.
Yeah, these women can really they can really follow a book and follow a pattern and make anything they want. You know, I'm just gonna say this one more thing, but look at I want to say her name. Well, I can't call her name. Start with an F. She learned how to crochet the same time we did, but she a better crocheter.
Niecy.
Oh, Free Hanley May.
Free Hanley May. Free Hanley May. Man, she is amazing.
She
took off.
I didn't know she learned when you guys learned. I thought she already knew.
No, she learned from scratch.
Wow.
And just took off. She's been crocheting less than, if we've been crocheting almost 2 years, she's been crocheting about the same time. But she's somewhere in the country cold, ain't got nothing else to do. She out there in that wood cabin.
Montana. She's in Montana.
Yeah, she's somewhere I ain't never been.
I think it's Montana. So I got the link for Humble Stewards Crafting Channel in the chat.
Thank you.
You guys can click on that link and subscribe and wait for this wonderful comeback.
Help us. Come save us. We know all y'all
wonderful comeback
crafters are over here. And we come over here try to win that cake.
That cake. We be like, you got the cake, hop on.
Niecy used to fix Cabbage Patch dolls.
Yeah,
right.
Yes, I remember that.
And it's funny because when my senior year in high school, you know how you have the prom and you get awards back, and so you get like, hey, $250 you get back, you know, or you get another $500 you get back, you know, so you pay for your suit, you pay for that, everything's hey. So I'm thinking, well, I'm going seaside the next day. You know, that'd be great to win $500, you know? So all of a sudden, they call my name at the prom 35 years ago.
That's fine.
I go up there, but they got my ticket. I'm like, holy crap. I just planned my whole weekend out in freaking 2 minutes. It was like, I got $500, I get a hotel, I get this, I get flowers, I get this and that. Oh, it was all. I went up there and they gave me a Cabbage Patch doll. And I was like, everybody's laughing, the teachers and everybody up there are laughing, and I'm like, where's my money? money.
No, you got a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yes. I never forget that. And I kept that for the longest time.
And you kept it kept it. It's gone, y'all. It's gone. Those things are worth thousands of dollars today.
They are.
Yeah.
I remember my sister had twin boy Cabbage Patch dolls. And I was never allowed to play with them. I had my own Cabbage Patch, but they weren't twins. She had two little identical twins, and she kept them until she had her first daughter and gave them to her. Now they're gone, never to be seen again. But I remember she had them like in the original clothes and everything.
Zeke said time to go. Yo, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I gotta get up in the morning, but I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
For having us.
Thank you guys so much.
You really surprised me. Thank you so much. I'm so happy.
Well, I'm glad you guys came on. Thank you guys so much, and we'll chat sometime.
Yes.
Very soon.
Yes.
Hey, and it's WOOP, not WHOOP.
I don't care. It sounds good to me. I always screw it up. Doesn't matter.
No, but it's the same thing. That's real. Whoop, whoop.
I listen. I don't look for spelling.
No, it's spelled right. I spell it wrong. Have a great one.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Anytime. Call me back.
Oh, that was awesome. That was so much fun. I can't believe what time it is, but we got to give some prizes out really fast, and we're going to end it tonight. So thank you guys for all staying with us. So hopefully you guys it's only one chance to win. So we're going to give the 2 autism awareness stitch markers, which is really cool. We got the Healing Kitchen book, and they were given a surprise gift from Kohl's and a surprise gift from Michael's. So if you see something and winner gets something for Kohl's or Michael's, congratulations, and make a video about it because it's going to be a good gift. So hopefully you guys are in a chat to claim it because you got to be here to win. This is see, I said it again. Didn't we notice? This is the Autism Awareness Stitch Marker, which is really cool. Whoop, come on, turn. There we go. Whoop.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And yeah, it's really cool. And so that, the Healing Kitchen book, which is really awesome. And then the 2 surprise gifts. So I think you guys will be surprised. It could be something maybe kitchen related. It could be something, who knows what I could get from Kohl's. But good, congratulations if you guys win. So, and thank you for staying here as long as you guys have, 2 hours and almost 30 minutes long. And thank you, Adrian. So let's get to the wheel. Let's do this fast. It's been a long weekend. And check out my garden. I started section 4. Section 1's growing really well. Broccoli is huge. Yeah, I'm very happy about what I'm growing out there.
You got a lot done in a short space of time.
One-man crew. So, okay, good luck, everyone. Good luck. So this is for the Autism Awareness Stitch Marker. If you don't want this, you want seeds. The seeds, what kind of variety? And I'm not going to go what seed company. Just tell me what kind of seed you want. If you want seed. Autism Awareness.
Vineyard Chicks.
Congratulations to Vineyard Chicks. So, like I said before, the stitch markers are made from Lisa from Lady Bird Loves. We talked about that before, and I really appreciate Lisa doing this for us. And here's another. If you guys see Vineyard Chicks in the chat, let me know. Here's another set of stitch markers, Autism Awareness stitch markers from Lady Bird Loves. Mary's Fiber Creations. I think Mary is here.
Congratulations.
So I haven't seen the Vineyard Chicks, but I believe I have seen Mary's Fiber Creations. So let's find out. We'll see in a couple seconds. Okay, Healing Kitchen book. There she is. I've been lurking. Congratulations to Mary's Fiber Creations. Thank you for all the hearts and love. Healing Kitchen book. Barb's Country Home.
Barb's Country Home.
And I believe Barb is here. So we are looking for Barb's Country Home. Thank you for all the hearts flying around. All donations are accepted. PayPal, Venmo. Become a member. Memberships help. There is Barb. Congratulations to Barb. She won a Healing Kitchen book. Okay, here's 2 big gifts of the night. Kohl's surprise gift. You guys can make a video on it. That'd be great. If not, that's okay too. So, Kohl's surprise gift from Kohl's with love. Sir Grace. Congratulations to Sir Grace. Congratulations. And now for the Michael. And now for the Michael's surprise gift. Sir Grace. The Vineyard Tips. There's Sir Grace is here. Congratulations to Sir Grace. You know,
Congratulations, Sir Grace. Make sure you guys email Joe.
Barb Brownlee.
Barb is here. I just saw Barb. There she is.
So congratulations to
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Barb Brownlee. So that was awesome.
Yes, wasn't it? That was epic, like we discussed. It was going to be epic.
Definitely.
An epic interview and an epic live.
Yeah, it's not many times anybody's going to have Gary Pilarczyk on.
I know. And he's so cool. He's so calm and collected and just so down to earth. Very nice. He's just how he is in his videos.
Yeah, calm, cool, collective, teaching.
Yep.
It was awesome. So we did Barb say yes? And thanks. Yep, yes, he did.
He said thanks.
Awesome.
So
and no
Barb
Vineyard.
Michaels.
Yeah, the Coles. Yeah, no, Barb was the Michaels and Sir Grace was the Coles.
And Sir Grace was the Coles.
So congratulations to all the winners. Thank you for all the members that are becoming members of my channel. You get extra chances on the wheel. And if you are a Joseph's Journey member, you're automatically put on the wheel and you automatically win, even if you're not in the chat. So that's the new thing that we have. So till next week, our subscription video. I'm going to go to a psychic.
Okay.
And do my subscription video with a psychic.
Oh, wow.
And so I think that's going to be pretty cool. I've never did it. I don't know if it's going to be a tarot card, a hand reading. I'm not into this, but you know what?
That's going to be interesting.
I bet you 95% of people never seen it before. So might as well show it.
I'm one of them. I've never.
Now, I used to get those things that you used to put a quarter in the little slot. And this is your horoscope.
Okay.
I used to get that all the time. That's as far as I ever went.
Me too.
So I hope you guys could check that out. And I hope you guys really had enjoyed what we showed today. I'm exhausted. If you guys tell my language, when I get tired, I can't talk. It's like I'm trying to fight for words.
Because your brain is like, foggy.
Yeah, I'm totally foggy. I need a cocktail. I don't think that's coming anytime soon.
That's what you need. You need some sleep.
Yeah, I think more sleep than anything. You're right. Okay, so take care, everyone, and I'll see you guys.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Thank you, Adrian. I mean, that was great. Thank you so much for doing this for me.
Thanks for having me. I'm so honored. Everyone have a great night.
Okay, take care, everyone.